KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app. And if you can hear my voice, you made it. You made it through that 4th of July weekend. And I'm pretty sure it was epic. The whole idea of Independence Day being on a Friday probably meant you did more than usual. Some of us did a little too much. I know I did a little too much on Friday night. Had some good fun talking with you. Then finished off the party. I think I finished off the bottle of Jack that Stefan had brought by my house. Appreciate that, Stefan. And if you missed any of it, obviously you can listen to it on the podcast. You can see some of the videos of the conversations we had with our regular commentators like Claudine Cooper, Jackie Ray, even Stefan got on the mic. You can see all that and go at Mr. Mo Kelly on Instagram, see the videos, gave you a different real look at what happens at Chateau Le Mo. It was a good time. Good food, good drink, good fun. Everybody kept all their fingers and toes with the fireworks. In fact, I didn't even really get a chance to go up to the park and see all the fireworks. In fact, we're showing some of the behind the scenes on our YouTube page right now at Mr. Mo Kelly. But it was well attended. And for those who don't know, it was 90% family, 90%. I would say 10%, be like 3% work folks, and the remaining 7% could have been people that worked with my wife and that kind of thing. But it was mostly family there. It was a good time, and we always have too much food. You know, Tawala was there, Carnisha was there, Danny was there, Stefan was there. Mark, unfortunately, was not there, but Tawala was kind enough to leave the party and take Mark Ronner a plate of food.
Let me tell you, I was sitting here by myself. I think everybody else had left. There was no board op. It was just me in the building. And when Tawala showed up at the door with that bag of food, I felt like Deborah Winger in An Officer and a Gentleman when Richard Gere shows up in the factory.
And just carries you off the floor.
I almost cried.
What did you bring for him food-wise? Do you remember?
I mean, I think it was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Lot more hair packed, literally everything. Even cake as a dessert. I was like...
I do remember that.
Yeah.
There were like maybe 4 or 5 tubs.
There was lots of food, and I ate until I felt pregnant.
Nice.
It was really good.
Did you save any for your long-suffering one?
She doesn't eat meat, and she was in bed by the time I got home, always is.
Good answer.
So, no, it was mine, all mine. All mine.
Got a lot of comments on Stefan coming into the studio space with a full plate of food.
I was hungry.
No, there's no shame. It was just funny. That was what people keyed in on, that visual.
It was funny because you started the show and I got there like maybe 20, 30 minutes before, and I was just kind of saying hi to everyone. So I was like, all right, let me just get some food. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, the show started. Come on, let's everyone in. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. If you don't know the flow of the day, we served food at like 3:00. Then we had the dessert competition at 6:00, but people are trickling in between 3 and 5 or so. People are eating, getting second and third plates. Then we have the dessert competition, which you hopefully got to see live on Instagram. If not, it's still there. Mm-hmm. You can check it out at Mr. Mo Kelly. And then we literally run upstairs and do the live show. And people think it's like, you do a full show? Yes, I do a full show. I have a full studio at my house. And we just broadcast from there. In theory, I could do the show every night from home, but I don't do that because they don't allow me to do that.
The new setup is fantastic. I've seen the old setup.
Yeah.
This setup, you went full studio with it.
And it's an adjustable standing desk. I mean, I can bring it down to seated level if need be, but it's just more comfortable for me standing up.
It was really cool. I was like kind of blown away by it.
I've put a lot of time and money into that.
You can tell.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You did not skimp on the...
From the microphones and everything.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
But it was a good evening. There weren't any real issues. It didn't have to throw anyone out. No one got too drunk, as far as I know. Carnisha even participated in the dessert competition. That was your first time at Chateau Le Mo?
Yes, it was my first time. And I have to say, I had so much fun. I really wish I would have brought home more food because I was really thinking about like all the hot dogs, all the hamburgers, all the ribs.
You're not that big. You can tell me where are you going to put all that food?
Look, I can eat. Okay.
All right. Excuse me. Excuse me,
But yes, I had fun with the bake off. Everybody was really nice. It was such a good vibe. The DJ was so good. It felt like I was back at home. Like I was like, yeah, I could do this.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, the DJ was my stepson, so my blended son. So we had to skimp where we could.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's come to the studio a few times and helped out around here. He still has his dreams of stardom within the entertainment industry, and I'm not going to, in any way, try to hold him back from that. But he's still going to have to put in his time, like all of us. All of us. Now, what was your takeaway, Twala? Because your vantage point is different from mine.
Carnisha hit it on the head that it felt like a family get together. It really, really did. And I've been there several years. I think maybe this year more than ever, it was maybe even more relaxed. It was just like, come one, come all. And everyone was just there to have such a good time. And it was really, really good. I mean, the laughter was nonstop, just jokes, kids running around.
A bunch of kids.
Grown folks. I mean, even Benson and Riley were getting in on
That's true. Yeah.
It was just a lot of fun.
Stefan, that was your first time at Chateau Les Mots. We've actually got you out there somehow, some way.
No, it was perfect for me because I started in the beginning of the day doing Uber and Lyft, and then knew I was going to come by for the Bake Off. I missed most of it, but I caught the end, so that was cool. And yeah, I got to meet Riley and Benson, and you weren't kidding. They stroll around like nothing. Nothing bothers them. The music blaring, there's people yelling. You kind of hear some of the fireworks, and they're just chilling.
Speaking of the fireworks, we talked about this on air. It seemed very subdued for much of the day, but then 9 o'clock rolled around and all bets were off. It was as crazy as it usually
Pure
is.
Pure chaos at 9 o'clock.
And all of those illegal professional grade fireworks were everywhere. They were just seemingly holding back because they were well into the next day. I don't know about you, Stefan, where you live, but where I live, they were still firing them off the next day.
Oh, no joke. And there was points where I was driving. I wasn't even stopped anywhere. And it felt like a bomb went off under my car. Like it would scare me and the people I was driving. But yeah, I was coming home. I think I got home at 3 or 4, and they were still going off. I was like, geez, go to bed.
Very quickly, talking about going home, Twala, you were going down that corridor, the 110 freeway. What did that look like?
Firework row. And I told my daughter before, I said, don't worry. I said, because they went up just for a little bit to see the fireworks, and they came back in. I don't know, maybe they were cold, trying to be cute. And I said, don't worry.
There were boys up there.
Yeah, no, they went up there. They were seen. They got what they wanted. My daughter and her friend, they were seen, and they said, okay, it's time to go back. But they didn't see as much fireworks as they wanted the entire time. I'm talking from the point when we got on the freeway, every overpass until we got to downtown LA, and on both sides of the freeway. It seemed like it was like an attraction. It was like, they could have paid an entry fee to get on the 110 to see the fireworks go off. They could have done that.
It was a good time. Well, more in just a moment. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, Twala, do you remember last week I was saying I understood why different cities, different parks were canceling their 4th of July celebrations out of concern of having an ice raid not only being very disruptive, but it could turn into a serious event in which people could get hurt?
Oh, absolutely.
Then I turn on the TV today and I see what's happening at MacArthur Park, and I'm reminded, yes, that's exactly what those different fireworks and 4th of July celebrations wanted to avoid.
Oh, yeah.
That was exactly it. And if you're wondering, MacArthur Park, you've probably seen the video by now, that extensive and expansive ice raid, only 2 miles from the Gloria Molina Grand Park celebration, which was postponed. Don't try to tell me that the ice raid, which happened today, most likely would not have happened on the 4th, just blocks away.
It absolutely would have. As if ICE was taking a break. No, They just rotated their holiday shift. They were out there.
Right. that's why I always want people to be safe. And I understand, and definitely was confirmed and reaffirmed that would have been an unsafe event. You could have had, a stampede at that point. All the people who would have been running in other directions. And I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to anyone. And what happened today, it's still evolving as far as what's going down at MacArthur Park. It may be some other location tomorrow. But I remember I received a lot of criticism saying they should still have the celebration. It's like, yeah, that's easy for you to say. If it doesn't involve you, if it doesn't impact you, if it's not your city and the city's liability, it's easy to say that. But we see what's happening at MacArthur Park today. That definitely would have happened at one of these major celebrations. And I'm glad that everyone is safe. Say what you want about deportations and illegal immigration. I don't want anyone to get hurt. And especially when you're talking about a 4th of July celebration, when you have presumably all those children out there. Sorry, I'm not rooting against people. I'm not rooting for bad things to happen to people.
Children and also alcohol.
Children, alcohol, and most likely some idiots with fireworks.
Illegal fireworks.
Right.
Yes.
All those things. But if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the 4th of July generally, the 4th of July specifically at Chateau. At the bottom of the hour, we'll talk about the inevitable idiots out there, my word, who don't know how to have a responsible 4th of July. Can't have fireworks in the city of LA, and they're banned in most of LA County. There are a few spots where you can still get some fireworks, none of them that elevate into the air. Just to preview, we'll tell you about the people who lost their hands. Unfortunately, the people who've lost their lives, the fireworks explosion in the building. Every single year, you can just about tell time by it. And I can tell you right now, July 5th, 2026, we'll be telling these same stories over and over again. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of fireworks in this contemporary world, given that there are other alternatives. You talked about it when you were on the air, talking about these drone shows. Why? And this, I get it. You can't personally have a drone show, but I'm surprised more cities haven't gone to it.
I think every city in the Southland needs to switch to drone shows. They need to make that investment because you can reprogram the drones. These drone shows can go on forever, and you make one major investment, and then you're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every year on disposable fireworks. These are drones that you can not just use for 4th of July.
Oh, you beat me to
all
it.
Types of events.
You beat me to it. You can use it for any major holiday celebration. Just reprogram them accordingly. And from a liability standpoint, it's got to be less.
I mean, and plus in Southern California right now, we are dealing with yet another massive fire that is nowhere near contained here in the Southland. We are on fire yet once again. There are several fires that they're fighting hard to control and contain. We don't need any accelerants used as fun here in Southern California.
Right. Fires, fireworks right before. Doesn't seem like a recipe for success. Seems like more one for disaster. But I can say by and large, with the exception of those unfortunate events, which we'll get to in the next segment, LA did better than I expected. When I say LA, I'm talking about LA County. Did better than I expected. Well, I'm saying I expect there to be 4 or 5 bad things, and I'm not going to blame all the city. I just know from the moment that I could, run outside and check, it didn't seem like there were as many overall illegal uses of fireworks.
You know what I didn't see that I thought I was going to see even today? At least one incident wherein someone was struck with a bullet that had rained down. I have not seen one story about that.
That too. I have not seen that. And I expected, unfortunately, because in previous years, that was not an uncommon occurrence. People shooting off bullets instead of fireworks. Bullets go up, then they come down and they strike someone.
Yeah.
But we didn't see any of that. So, there is definitely bad news we have to cover next segment, but it was mostly good news. Now, I'm just going to ask Carnisha to see if she's going to tell the truth on the air. Let me just admit, I had a little too much to drink. There were some other people who had a little too much to drink. Jackie Ray She had too much to drink. And I'm going to tell her that to her face when I see her.
Oh, she was feeling herself.
Mark, could you hear it on the air?
No, and I was really hoping to. There's nothing that pleases me more than seeing workplace friends get loaded.
And see, this is the gray area because you're at my house at a legitimate, veritable party, and there's alcohol being served. People may not look at it as a work environment. I do. People say like, Mo, why aren't you having a drink? I got a show to do. Me getting sloshed and getting on the air doesn't end well for anyone, especially me.
No, and I used to love the stories from, Chris Little was good for a story about people at workplace functions just getting sloppy drunk and maybe regretting it the next day or perhaps for the rest of their careers.
With all that as an introduction, Carnisha.
I have to say, Jackie Ray started me off.
Oh, you're going to blame her
No.
for all the drinks you had.
No, I'm saying she started me off with a good drink. Like, you
What
know
did-
how
what-
you like
what
to
did you drink?
It was peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, that's good.
When I tell you so smooth and it tastes just like peanut butter. Did go back for more.
Wow.
I did.
Look, you were very happy.
I was.
That's all I said. Carnisha
You were
was
in a good place.
happy.
Carnisha was enjoying herself.
Yeah,
Not
man.
in a disrespectful or an
No,
embarrassing
she had
way,
fun.
but we could tell that you were very comfortable
Yes.
at Chateau Les Beaux.
I did want to put the gate up at the bottom of the stairs so she couldn't come back up the stairs. I was like, don't you come back up the stairs.
There were
Don't
some
you come
folks who
back
had to
up.
look like, okay, I need you to hold the rail. Going up and down. I need you to hold the rail. I don't want to have a lawsuit.
I am crying, but no, seriously, I really had fun. And then I like that I did get a chance to drink before doing the dessert competition because it kind of smoothed off the nerves and everything. So I really had so much fun.
See, everyone had a chance to loosen up and, just let themselves go. And I, this is something that my wife and I, we always argue about every year. This is, this past weekend, no different. I'm always preparing for the show.
Mm-hmm.
She is enjoying a party. We're not on the same page at any point. I tell her each year, and I shouldn't tell her, but I tell her, okay, the dessert competition is over. I need you to make sure everyone comes upstairs at about 6:57 so we can kick off the live broadcast portion. You know what that's like. Every single year, I have to remind myself, my wife has already had 8 drinks. She is not going to have any real concept of time or urgency. So 7:00, I'm coming back downstairs, and I just look at her, and she says, oh, what time do you need them up there?
I know you made the announcement.
I did. I did. And that was not my job because I'm getting ready to do a show. So I thought that she'd be able to handle it because she was downstairs with everyone. I'm upstairs. I think, Twala, you were upstairs at that point because we're minutes out. We're getting ready to start. All right, bring everyone upstairs. And you can see that moment on video because or if you go to at Mr. Bo Kelly on Instagram, you get to see the beginning of the live broadcast. I have everyone's on a schedule here, okay? Everyone upstairs, everyone downstairs. And I look at my wife. You have one job. One job. It didn't go as planned. It's later with Mo Kelly. We'll tell you about some of the unfortunate incidents, not at the party, but around the Southland on this 4th of July. In just a moment. KFI AM 640. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, iHeartRadio app. And unfortunately, every single year, someone will be injured or in this case, lose their life or lives because of illegal fireworks. Want to be clear, illegal fireworks. And I don't know what needs to happen for people to understand the danger. Yeah, we had some fun and we talked about when we were kids and all the dumb things we did, but we didn't know any better. It was a different world back then, but we collectively know better. We know. And also, we weren't messing with professional grade illegal fireworks. We were, or at least I was, and I can't speak for anyone else. We had Safe and Sane. We were basically sparklers, Piccolo Pete's, firecrackers. That was about the extent of it. Maybe some Roman candles, but for the most part, it's nothing like the stuff that you see today. The stuff you see today are from like legitimate shows that people are setting off in their front yard. And the unintended consequences is they may misfire and they may go right at someone's house, hit a person. All those bad things did happen, unfortunately, over the weekend. And let me just tell you about some of these things to not scare you, but also remind you how dangerous they are. An 8-year-old girl was killed after an illegal fireworks display misfired in Buena Park. In Buena Park, that's an interesting component to this because Buena Park allows legal fireworks. You can still get Safe and Sane fireworks in Buena Park, but that Safe and Sane, they were not responsible for this. And I know it gets muddy because you do have legal fireworks mixed with illegal fireworks. So you're going to have more people presumably out to watch fireworks shows because it's legal within the city. And then you have an incident like this where an 8-year-old girl was injured about 9:45 Friday evening. And all it takes is one. All it takes is one. And unfortunately, there was another man who was killed in his own home after illegal fireworks caused a massive fire, which set his home on fire. He died, but his wife is said to be hospitalized and fighting for her life. And this happened Thursday night in the Pacoima neighborhood in San Fernando Valley.
Man, look.
And look, those are the people that I have sympathy for. Those are the folks through no fault of their own became victims. No fault of their own. If you're just in your house and some idiot outside is using illegal fireworks and your house is set on fire, that's not your fault. That could have happened literally to anyone. If you are a child just watching fireworks in a city where fireworks are quote unquote legal, and that's kind of to be expected, and there's some idiot with illegal fireworks and it misfires and it hits a child, I'm not going to blame the child. But if your name is 4Extra,
yeah,
and you are a rapper, and you want to post a video of yourself holding illegal fireworks and saying, quote, "Who wants to get blown up today? I'm blowing somebody up today," and that somebody turns out to be you because you lit some fireworks in your hand and it blew up in your hand, and now you don't have a hand anymore. You have a huh. You need to have 5 fingers to have a hand. So I think he's down 2 or 3. So he has a huh. And we have the video right now, not of it happening, but the cherry bombs, the M80s that he was holding and lit. And anyone who's dealt with fireworks is not the same as dynamite.
Yeah.
The fuse can be very fast. It's not regulated that way. Just because you think the fuse is 2 inches long, that you have, 10, 15 seconds. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
I saw the post leading up to this, and I remember thinking to myself, oh man, come on, man, this is not going to go well. Because he had been talking about this even on the show.
No Jumper?
No Jumper. He had been talking about this for a minute, like, I'm going to be out there 4th of July. And so, yeah, I mean, and he reminds me of cats from my neighborhood. And so I saw this, I said, oh man, this isn't going to go well. And then when I saw what happened, I said, damn it, I knew it.
And some people would say, Mo, you need to have a little more empathy. No, I don't. No one, you see, this is different from the child who was minding her business. This is different from the man in his house who was minding his business. Neither of them were intentionally engaging in dangerous and illegal behavior, which led to their misfortune, to their deaths. This guy took 2 M80s and consciously and specifically said, who are we going to blow up tonight? Or someone's going to get blown up. And it turned out to be him. Well, oh well. It says that 4Extra, and I'm not familiar with him as a rapper or his music, lost 2 fingers, but not the whole hand. And he was also blind for a few hours. But according to social media, he has his vision back. I don't know if that's 100% back or some approximation of that. But yeah, as they say, stupid games, stupid prizes. Now you won't be flipping anyone off with that hand ever again.
No, what's crazy too is he had not a high profile, but he had a Jake Paul level celebrity boxing match coming up with another social media fighter by the name of
3Extra.
No, Aaron the plumber.
Okay.
And they were going to get into us. I think Jake Paul was going to be on Dazen or Dazen, whatever the name of it is.
DAZN. I had to
DAZN.
learn. It's
Okay.
called it's spelled DAZN, but it's called DAZN.
Okay, so there, I think they were going to be on the zone, and he had been talking about that on No Jumper for a while. That they were setting it up, they're ready to go. It was going to be like the hood fight of the century.
That ain't gonna happen.
Nah, man.
I think he's gonna have to learn to wipe his backside with his other hand.
It was his right hand too.
I said, he won't be signing any checks. He won't be flipping anyone off. He won't be pointing anyone out. He won't be licking any food off some fingers. What else did he say goodbye to? I can't say that on the air. Yeah, it's all bad. All bad. And it's couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Look, if you do something that stupid and something bad happens, well, okay. If you light half a stick of dynamite, because if I'm not mistaken, a cherry bomb M80 is an eighth of a stick of a dynamite. So like, no. So 2/8, 1/4. So he had like a quarter stick of dynamite in his hand.
Those will rumble the ground. They're strong.
Oh, they'll take some fingers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as we learned.
No, he learned.
Oh, yeah.
I already knew. You don't have to teach me that lesson. I already know not to light fireworks in my hand or anywhere else. Nothing good is going to happen. Thoughts and prayers to the fingers. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app. And I have a lot of things swirling around in my head. I am weird in the classic sense. I have all these idiosyncrasies. I have this OCD. I can be manic and neurotic. I can be all those things. And I try to keep it all under control. And sometimes it gets out of hand. Am I the only one who worries about the days getting shorter after the summer solstice? I think about that and worry about that from June until the time change. We go back to standard time. We end daylight saving. And I think about it the most. There's the 4th of July tie-in on the 4th of July. Because I'm thinking it's going to be worse and worse. We'll start losing daylight. And then by the end of summer, it's going to feel like we don't have any daylight. And then maybe in late October, early November, we get rid of daylight saving. And then I'm just an emotional wreck. Am I the only one who thinks about this? Mark, has it ever?
You may be. I mean, I've got such a vampire schedule that I never see any sun anyway, and I wish I did. I gotta change my my life around. But we're both on a similar schedule, so we kind of I think we're probably prone to depression and or suicide because we're awake at night so much.
Maybe okay. Let me stick with that. I actually sleep better emotionally after the sun has come up. What I mean by that is if I try to get into bed at like 12 o'clock, I can usually fall asleep, but then I start worrying about things sometime and I'll start waking up.
You're one of those too. Yeah. My mind starts racing when my head hits the pillow. So I've got to be absolutely exhausted. So, and on a lot of nights, I write after work, do my writing at night. And so I was up writing until dawn today on something that I'm nearly finished with. And you just got to, if you do that kind of thing, you've got to go when the inspiration strikes you. And we're probably both going to die like 20 years too early because of our yeah. And, another aspect of this is I grew up in the Pacific Northwest for the most part, and that has a disproportional number of serial killers. And I think it's largely because of the weather.
My mood is always connected to the weather. And I don't know about you, but there's no better sleep for me and this is the best part of this job, from like 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. I get the best sleep then. Not so much when I get in the bed at midnight and then I just try to have a normal night's sleep. Last night I did pretty well, but I don't sleep as restfully until the early morning hours. It's almost like I need it light outside. And it's the hardest thing.
No, I can relate to that, but I can also relate to wanting to murder the people with leaf blowers who work during those hours.
I have those. And Stefan, you've seen how my house is set up. They have that undeveloped portion, but the leaf blowers were out there all weekend. And we have these train tracks where there's a train which comes, it's just south of Imperial Highway. And you have a train every single morning at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how. But there's always a train.
I wonder if it's the same one that goes through my spot, because sometimes I'll hear it and it's like, I get that they have to alert
that they're approaching the crossing.
But like, okay, after about 25 times,
yes,
I think we get it. You're there.
It must be the same train. It has to be.
It's got to be.
And that's when I'm supposedly having the best sleep. But my mind is always racing during the nighttime hours.
What do you do to still that, to quiet it?
I don't know.
I don't think apart from getting drunk.
No. I don't worry about it too much, because I know unless I have to get up early in the morning to do a radio interview or a TV interview, I don't worry about it too much because I'll eventually fall back asleep.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I always heard said about soldiers, is that they could force themselves to sleep anytime they had an opening to do that. And I've never been able to do that. So a good podcast, I think, especially one of the true crime ones, will make me go to sleep right away.
Yeah. And also, I'm telling all my business. I sleep on my stomach because I can't sleep on my back. Sleep apnea.
Yep.
So I sleep on my stomach, and you get your neck pains and your back pains and your hip pains for sleeping on your stomach, but I'm not wearing that damn CPAP. I'm just not. No,
those are funny. I like those.
And Mark, you'll appreciate this. I had another one of my recurring dreams last night.
Not the one where you're going to the bathroom.
Yes.
And you wake up in a puddle.
Did you really?
Yes.
Did you wet yourself?
I'm not even wet myself. I'm just saying I had this recurring dream, if you don't know this, that I am doing number 2 in a public place. And I'm stuck. Whereas, like, how am I going to get myself out of this without everyone noticing? It's almost like no one notices unless I move. Excuse me. And if I move, everyone will start looking at me. It's the strangest. And there's also another part. And this is when I know I'm dreaming. If I try to text someone in the dream or call someone in the dream, I can never successfully text someone.
Oh God, I have those too.
And I can't successfully call someone. It's like my fingers mess it up.
Yeah.
Or the call won't go through, or I can't find the number. Technology does not work in any of my dreams. I can't explain it.
No, I have that exact same thing. And sometimes it's even on the old rotary telephones. I start the number and I have to start over.
You can never complete the call or the text. And then I realize, then I start almost lucid dreaming, because I'm not this much of an idiot where I can't finish a text message. And I don't know. It's a recurring theme. I just don't know to what.
That could be pretty scary.
We need an expert to tell us what that means.
If you're a dream expert, maybe I can talk to George Norrie. He probably knows the dream expert.
He's got to. We
need
his help.
Got to know somebody.
Yeah, so I need someone to come in and analyze my dreams.
Yeah, ask him about the poop dreams too.
Oh, no, that would be the first question I ask. Look, I'm always trying to defecate my dreams in public. What's going on with that, Doc?
So mine are similar, but I'm always racing to try and find a place, and there's no place completely private.
Oh, mine is much more specific.
Yeah.
I'm always in public, and I'm done.
Oh.
It starts off with you already where...
Correct.
When people... Okay.
Correct. I'm just there. And then I don't think there's any toilet paper around.
And does this correspond to any biological realities when you wake up?
No, not at all. It's not like, for example, I know if I'm in my dream and I feel like I have to go to the bathroom, in other words, proceeding, I usually wake up, because that means take your behind to the bathroom. That's usually number 1.
So this isn't some subconscious way of your body telling you something's knocking at the back door.
No, it's not like I wake up and realize I have some sort of urge or anything.
Okay.
No, it's predicament related, because it's not feeling related.
Yeah.
It's just I'm there and I don't know what to do.
It's torture.
I'm right in the middle of a movie theater. How am I going to get out of this?
Yeah, we have to get to the bottom of this, so to speak. I can't stand it much longer.
All right. So, Stefan, when you talk to George Norrie's producer, let him know I have a question to ask him.
Oh, jeez.
It's serious.
No, it's very serious.
I know.
It's probably connected to something else. I just don't know what. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.